Testing, testing. Okay. Seems like we have sound. Today we're starting at a different time, so let me post that we are live. Let me also share this on the SaGa Wiki Discord. Another good morning from Germany, says Christian Trap. Thanks so much for coming. Mario Hardy as well says, I have arrived. Mario, you are already home? Are you on a free day? Tell me. Just give me 1 minute. I'll be back. And here I am back. Xavier is also here. Welcome, Xavier. Thanks for joining us. Masamune as well. It's been a while, Masamune. How are you? Sup? So let me check here the Chrome tab. It's working fine. Yes, I think we can start now. So, we did a live stream yesterday talking about the update to the tier list. That's been something in the works for quite some time. I believe I explained it on the other stream about, kind of getting stuck in the updating this because of wanting to make a better tier list about roles and stuff, but in the end it didn't work so well because of, well, getting too many styles, also dealing with some anxiety and perfectionism issues. I tried many different times to make a dedicated tier list for each role, but it didn't work, so we are trying to keep the work that we've done in the past, but also discuss the placements of the characters. We will have update with all the recent units, as you can see here. We discussed it, the OP, Triple S, SS Plus, and SS tiers. We stop it when we discuss it, the SS minus. So I count on everyone's feedback to, well, change the placements, discuss the styles. There were some discussion about some styles, but nothing too big. So I guess the tier list is not that far from the truth. So I see Geraldo Sandoval is also here. Welcome. Yeah, it has. Usually you stream too late for me to watch. Doing good. Nice to hear from you. Watch the last stream today. Definitely think Boston should be on a tier higher. You mean the counter Boston, right? That's something I was thinking about, but then if I move him, I would have to move the... Where is he? SS minus, right? If I move him... Where is he? You mean this Boston here? If I move him, I have to move Burva. And I kind of believe that Seki Sushai is a little superior, although not much. Counter units are a little more limited in usage, but, you don't need to have many of them on the SS Plus list, I guess. But it's an interesting feedback. You mean Boston, so what do you think about Burva? Should we move in as well? I like him a lot because he can keep countering, but he takes damage. Morning share and chat. I'm gonna put in the background listening while current drawing. Thanks so much for being here, Andy. That's nice. White noise for you. Christian Trap says everything is shaking. Mario Hardy, how are you? Nice. Yeah, counter boss. I think being the best single target counter unit means something. I think for damage he loses to Seki Sushai, but as a whole, he does bring us something new as a mechanic, right? Burva does almost as much damage. No, not as much. Seki Sushai still obliterates Burva. Burva needs to get to OD, and then he does not count, right? I have to check this guy again. How far is Burva from Boston? Well, he deals damage and there's defensive counter. Both are defensive counter units. He will counter with S power and then he counters with triple S when he's on OD. But then he gets OD Every turn, right? No, when attack, he gets to overdrive pretty fast. His damage is pretty high. Although he's a blunt specialist and most don't do slash and blunt. Yes. If he gets to OD on the end of turn 2, he deals insane damage on turn 3. And that's usually what he does. I saw many people using him like that for turn 3. But it's just that we don't have many content. So it was against Alosis, the last attack, where we can try counter strategies. You don't have Burva, but Boston looks better. So what I'm gonna do is I will bring the character here for the bait. I'm gonna move it here, and when we have more people joining us, I'm gonna ask their opinions on what they think about these two characters here. So they are a little moving out to the right, so to be a little different. What about the other ones? Do you have any feedback on them? One thing that people kind of got surprised is that I move it. Spell Girl. People think I love her. For no reason, I'm not even a fan of the Game Boy games. It's just that she was pretty good and unique for quite some time, but now we have so many small healers. We have Matcha, we have Miss Surfing, we even have the Christmas Empress that, well, she's not unique anymore, and any of these characters will work. Any. Choose one. That means any will work. There are times where one will be better because of elemental weaknesses and resistances, but in the end, you just need one. I don't think Global X3 is potential Triple S. This is something that was discussed, and most people said that she's not. This one, right? I'm gonna move her here for discussion, but people said that she's not. And I removed the turn 1 nukers from the tops. As you can see, we don't have Gustav anymore. We don't have Rofus, we don't have even Rook, because these characters are now being a little more limited. Content is more about farming with Bro and Colon these days, and even when you don't have those... Well, Therese's have got a very strong pierce damage dealer still. I do believe that she loses easily to Chooser. Chooser just deals more damage. Who else competes with her? Well, for pierce damage... For pierce damage, I think it's all about Chooser, and then after him it's Darken, and who else do spears here to be on tops? This Mikhail. Young Mikhail, he is actually a contender to Therese. Well, you don't see it so well because Therese buffs herself, and that is good. She also has high protect tension, right? The thing is that using Mikhail right, you can get a lot of damage because of his chase mechanic. She doesn't have high protect tension, but she buffs her defense every turn by very large effect. That should be 25% reduction. Yes. Defense boost of very large effect. No, wait. Defense boost of very large effect. I guess it's 30%. I have to check this. Man, these numbers are just so random sometimes that when it's passive it's something, when it's active it's something else. Hello Capivara, how are you? Thank you so much for coming. Speedy says good day. Oh yeah, seeing that Spear Emperor and Global X Emperor next to each other feels off. Spear 1 is much better. Why do you think they are much better? Also, Masamune, we have to understand that even through some characters are a little better than others, being a little better does not mean that you have to grade them differently too much because, well, you could say that Matcha is the best small healer, but in the end, either Matcha or Miss Surfing or a Spell Girl will work. I can still say that in most cases, Miss Surfing will be better, but she has lower damage reduction. So that's it. And, well, you said Spear Emperor. Spear Emperor and Global X Emperor are just too close to each other. It's exactly too close. Another thing that you may have missed, Masamune, is that this tier list is not about left to right anymore. It's just characters placed on a grading system, like all of them are SS minus. I don't see that much difference between the two. I do believe that Final Emperor is better, the Spear version, but he still needs to attack to be able to use his AoE attack 2 times. Like, he attacks on turn 1, with his full power attack, and then the second turn he needs to attack with a single target attack in order to use another AoE, while the Global X version can still use 3 AoEs in a row, unless you're talking about Inheritance. So they have almost the same damage, perfectly the same. The difference in then is more about the cyclings and the weapon of choose. So grading one higher than the other does not make much sense to me, because they are just too close to be honest, in my opinion. I got the left-right thing. All the tiers are a big bunch now. Oh, okay, so what do you think about what I said? I don't think they have that much difference. The one that is stronger now is, of course, the musical. Musical Emperor is much better. And I do believe that he can be a contender for SS+, but I'm not entirely sure about that. I would need to gather some feedback on this. Some characters are a little hard to place, like this Darky. He was pretty powerful for quite some time, but now he's more about the inheritances, and it's kind of hard to judge what exactly do you have to inherit with him. But as a standalone character, good, but nothing special anymore. While the other two Darkies are pretty good, even by themselves, without inheritance. One character that lost a lot of the potential when she was announced is this version of SaGa. This buffer version of SaGa, it's now totally replaceable. Especially by Time. Time made her look, well, kind of irrelevant now. Time does everything she does, right? Let me check here. And I once thought about summoning for this SaGa. You never know what they do with these characters, right? They buff some styles to some crazy thing. I think this is the one, the buffers. Yeah. She has buff break, but besides buff break, she doesn't have any defense resistance passive. She buffs guard up and buff break, or she cleanses and buff food. Yeah, totally replaced by Time. Time made she looks bad. I'm happy I skipped her, because I summoned on her banner actually and only got KO Allen, who else? Muse, and then I dropped the banner because I got it pretty fast. WP says, whoa, this is so early. Yeah, a little early this time to try to see different people as well, but we'll keep doing it for as long as we can. Eduardo Alberto says hello. Welcome. Spear Emperor has 5 EP per turn and buffs the party too. He only has 5 per turn if he attacks. On farming, he won't attack on the second turn. But he said that he buffs the party. But something that needs to be considered, Masamon, is that let's talk about offensive unit. I know some people think this is good. It's not bad, of course not. But it increases damage for everyone by 10%, right? Right now you use the weapons with 90%. Most characters have 60% damage potential. So you already have like 150% damage increase with most damage dealers. So going from 150 to 160 is not big anymore. When we had characters with 30% passives using weapons with 15% stones, we had like 50% increasing to 60 was actually a big increase. It was like 20% increase. Now we are getting something like less than 10% increase from a 10% passive. And that makes that, well, sometimes it will help you if you are having some inconsistent clearing stage. Well, the enemy has 70,000, you are doing 69,000, and bringing Final Emperor will help. But this is not something that is considered too much in farming scenarios. And this guy is not used on boss fights, he's used only on Remembrance. Or on Final Island. I do use him on Final Island, but like I said, it comes with the problem of having to attack to use Dual Dragon Light 2 times. So there's that. Also, guys, let me do something. We are almost to 15 minutes. I was waiting for more people to join. I hope Anonymous is watching this video, Mr. or Miss Anonymous. I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for helping out the channel. You did this while we were away, so people didn't see, but in the top here, you'll see that we got a donation from an anonymous person. It's the same anonymous as always. And I just want to say thank you so much. I did reply the PayPal donation. Hope you saw that. But I also want to say thank you here on the live stream so that you know how grateful I am. Thanks for always helping the channel and saving us. So I'm really, really grateful for everything you've done. So let's send some virtual hugs to everyone that's here that can. Thank you so much, Mr. or Miss Anonymous. Let's send some virtual hugs. Yeah, you're probably right. A tier higher would probably be too much, indeed. Good afternoon. I'm not as knowledgeable as everyone here. Hope you don't mind if I pop in and try to learn something new. No worries, Merrick. You can ask anything. We are here for that. So I do believe that Boston and you know, Burva discussion is an interesting fact. Although I don't think that they are now so impactful to be on tops. Maybe Boston, Burva not as much, because just full damage it's not that unique, because 6 to Shide use lightning, something that we don't find anywhere. And then Burva is just blunt, and then you know that it's just so easy to find. And Boston at least deals double elements, so he can hit for neutral many times. Thanks everyone, Merrick, French, and Christian for praising, and also Double P. And Copy as well, thank you. As always. So it's also very nice to discuss on tier list when we look on Coppelia and Red. These characters were on the top of the game when farming and were pretty cool characters, but the game changed so much recently that these characters just don't fit in anymore. Gunners have replaced most martial artists unless they are just like the best of their kind, or if they have different attacks or different rotations. They have been losing quite some build. Just look on the characters here. We don't have that many martial artists. They also have different mechanics. You can see that some of the martial artists are not real martial artists, right? We have the mystics and deities like Virgil. Virgil is not a real martial artist, so... SaGa is here! Hello everyone, I'm here in ScherBR. No, ScherBR. It's not that. It's not. We are fixing this. Finally. I agree, by the way, with moving Mystic Assholes up. Alosis, I'm not sure, I don't have it. You mean moving this Mystic Assholes to the same as the New Year's, right? I do believe that kind of makes sense, because both have around the same damage potential. One has a damage reduction passive, other one can trigger status buffs. If an opponent is weak to 2 different elements, example, fire and slash, if you hit them with a move that is both of these elements, does it double the dip on the weakness? No! The game only chooses one elemental type when attacking. If it has 2 elements, it just gives you an edge, because if the enemy is weak to, say, just fire, it will always do max damage. If the enemy is weak to just, you know, slash, it will always do high damage. So that's how it works. When you attack an enemy, you see on the screen icon of the element of the damage you just inflicted. So that's it. Burva in SS plus Zeus. See? SaGa, I don't agree with that. He was here because of some requests, so checking. He doesn't agree with Therese as well, because we discussed it Therese as well. So SaGa, I'm placing the characters that people have some feedback on the right, so in order to discuss. And we have something about Boston, Burva, and Therese. I can see the appeal of Boston. I love the character. I'm a lobster trainer, like I said on Discord. Burva, not entirely sure. More about the damage being too limited. Blunt is just easy to find. Too easy to find. I think only immunity changed the formula. Yeah. Also, Burva is not as flexible since he's only blunt, I understand. Yeah, exactly. You know, Sekisushai is also lightning, and Boston is slash and blunt. So even if you get an enemy that's not weak to both, you can still use Boston for STR debuff. Sekisushai can also debuff, while Burva is full damage and nothing else. Nothing really else. Boston also has that endurance where he buffs every time he attacks. He becomes such a big tank. So it can make sense. I do believe that he's just too close to Sekisushai. Burva, no. See something saying that Burva is OP. A lot of people were just making jokes about Burva because, you know, he's a joke. It's more about, he has strong turn 1 damage, and you can use him in some farming scenarios, just that what he does is not something unique most of the time, and then you have to find reasons to use him. But if he's the only one you have, he will work. He'll work. So what do you think, SaGa? Boston here, but Birth a Dawn there on SS, or even lower than that? I still believe that he deals plenty of damage if you can fit him on a squad, but he doesn't have anything so unique to be on the higher tiers. And now what about Therese? Anyone thinks that she deserves to be higher? Also, Norix is here. Welcome, Norix, to show up and get hit with the truth about martial arts. They used to be so good. Yes, that's true. And they used it to be so good. They were easy to use on formations, and they had some different attacks, like Punishing Combo was such an amazing attack when we had it, but then it's just that the game changed it so much that that attack, even when being strong, does not make much difference anyway. See, we also have this Al-Kaiser. He can inherit Punishing Combo, and I did try some of his damage potential, and it's just still not high. The way that they calculate the damage for martial artists is a little different as well, and they don't benefit as much as other characters in different formations. The only formation that takes full advantage of them is Hurricane, and that's it, Hurricane, because it buffs 50% SDR and agility. Yes. And Bustle is also kind of sus. Definitely no to Therese. Capybara says, I don't have Therese. Does she have any defensive passive? She has one that she decreases damage by 30%, if I remember correctly. Every turn. It triggers every turn. And it stacks with Guard Up. So, it's not bad. Some characters have some defensive passives that trigger Guard Up, like Goddess. So, when you bring someone else with Guard Up, it's not good, because she loses part of the utility of the passives. Hey, Ascendant Auser, how's it going? He says, I'm doing fine, how about you? Nice to see you around. So, Boston is also kind of sus. I had him on the SS only, because we also have some unique counter characters that are pretty unique, like Emerald, Buried in the Sand. This one is a global access style, and she countered the buffing agility, and it's actually pretty cool. I don't have this style, I never use it, but I saw many videos of people clearing content with her, and I know she's pretty cool. Speedy says, Therese is too good in Remembrance, but I don't know in other places. That's it, some characters are just too good in Remembrance, and not so much in other places. Some characters like, you know who? Someone that's super good on Remembrances. There's many, but you know, most of the utility characters, but they are already on Triple S. Most of these characters here are very good for Remembrances. Yeah. I think Nadite, for example, it's cool for Remembrance, although you don't need much help on Pierce, on Spear content. He's good, he gives defense to the party, and, well, sometimes I even think about using Crane Healed on Remembrance. I still use Global Axe Undine with Inheritance. I don't know about how everyone else feels about her. I believe it's more about we got so many characters that are better than her. Last time I tried to use her, she was missing sometimes. This Global Axe Undine. Although she can inherit Ring of... Oh, she already has Ring of Life, right? She debuffs... Dexterity is not that rare anymore. We got plenty of Dexterity debuffers recently. Newest Nawal's Daughter debuffs Dexterity. Also, Bolkon debuffs Dexterity. The Bunace can debuff Dexterity. So, as a Dexterity buffer, she's just there. And as a Ring of Life user, she's okay. She will be used in a future... Remembrance because of the charm effect, I guess. We have Undine, let's check here. Undine, I think she charms, no? Or am I wrong about it? Let me see. No, she just debuffed Dexterity. The one that charms is Miss Surfing. The Christmas Miss Surfing. I have all versions of Miss Surfing now. Leon B says, Seattle is my main team. Amazing character. He evades enemy attacks and nullifies damage 3 times. Pretty cool character indeed. He doesn't do as much damage as some of the other Pierce specialists, but he deserves a high place. Also, Seattle was disagreement with SaGa because I thought Seattle was deserving a double S plus grade, while SaGa insists that he's only standard double S. So, because his damage is not as big as the other Pierce damage dealers. Yeah. Right, Platinum Benelin is too low if you ask me. Too low? But then you come too low. That's why I'm saying on the past video, past live stream, that sometimes we have difficulty grading characters because SS minus is not a low grade. And then leaving her here on these other positions, I don't know. Well, we don't consider her inheritance. We only consider the normal attack, the S3. I believe that the... Where is the other Madeline? I think she's on SS Plus. Here. This Madeline here works by herself. The Platinum one also works by herself. You can use her on Remembrance. On Final Island. But having Luna Fulgur inherited is not even considered here. As you can see that there is no eye icon. So we are not considering the eye. So not taking into advantage of Luna Fulgur. When you have Luna Fulgur, she's just the same thing as having the limited style, you know? That's why we cannot place them together. Placing her here right beside the limited one will make it look like she's natively as good as that one. The difference between them is just that one gives extra damage to the party. The other one doesn't. This one even does a little bigger damage because she self-buffs, especially for a long fight, but not, well, not always. So placing the Platinum one there bring the question about, you know, she's being as good as the other one. I don't see anyone as good as her in SS minus. But what do you think of what I just said? Considering that we only taking care of the skill number 3, not the inheritance of Luna Fulgur. Ilham says Seattle and S version has a triple S attack. You can use it to do 90,000 as the guarantee. Yes, I know about that. But even that attack is not that big when you consider turn 1 damage. Seattle is not a good farmer. He's more about long time fights. You can see here that, well, he does have this 30% damage increase, and then heat up large effect means he has 45, right? Yes, 45. And then we have the triple S attack. Here, Phantom Fall. That's actually pretty strong for the cost. The thing about Seattle is that, well, the characters that we bring, like Khan, for example, do just very big damage for Pierce. Other damage dealers are doing like 4S damage potential right on turn 1. The better turn 1 damage dealers. So Seattle is more about sustaining long fights. I don't think people use him for farming. Anyone here uses him for farming? Please tell me. I don't have the character. Yeah, without Luna Fulgur, she's not as high as the other one, but not 2 tiers lower. 2 tiers lower. What do you think about this, guys? What do you think about this ScherBR? Do you think that Platinum Madeline deserves a higher grade? Be with the characters from the SS grade? Hello, me Balter. How are you? C says Time Lord deserves to be higher. Which Time Lord do you think? We have 2 Time Lords. This one is the debuffer. We have way too many agility debuffers, although you know he can work on some very, very, very hard challenges where the enemy evades debuffs. It's okay. But how many times have you guys used this Time Lord? I have both Time Lords. This Time Lord here, I use it in 3 times. Yeah, 3 times. The agility buffer. There's no agility buffer Time Lord. This one is still a little more useful. This one increases the attack order, not the agility. It's different. Buffing agility is always better. This is unique to him, but increasing the attack order help it in Wastelands 5, for example. To make you attack before the enemy, but it does not allow you to evade, for example. Agility buffs are still better. Boulder says, how many years have you been playing Remembrance in SaGa? Sure, since day 1. Actually, since the beta. His agility buff sucks, it's 5%. Ah, you're talking about the passive, right? Yeah, the passive buff is very, very big. And it's 5%, and considering in 4 turns, you have something like Time Lord. 10%. Considering the BK of 5% over 4 turns, you have only 10% buff. He can also buff his own agility, but it doesn't help if he's the only one evading and the rest of the party is dying. This here Power spread means that you have on average after 4 turns 10% buff to agility and intelligence. Helps with accuracy, helps a little, but it does not allow you to evade as other buffers. Like, let's talk about ScherBR for example. ScherBR, you can buff agility every 2 turns, and sometimes even lower than that, and he buffs agility by 25. So even considering the decay, he is much better as an agility buffer. People use this Time Lord as a gimmick because of the increase in attack order, but not exactly as an agility buffer or debuffer even. The debuff thing, it's cool and all because of being support. It's just for very hardcore players that tackle, like, you know, War Tower stuff. Very hard challenges, but inside that point, I don't see many reasons to use. This one also has the IQ AoE attack, that's cool, but he cannot follow up. You need both versions of Time Lord to be able to open and keep the AoE. That is with the past one. The current one has, but it does not instant kill. That's it. Going back here, let me read the chat. Everyone can just type any other feedback and we discuss. Double P says, Time Lord has a very specific niche. I don't use him much now that we don't have a tower. Yes, I only use it here on towers. Masamon says, Lunar New Year Mirza also feels a bit out of place. He's also immune to dark and left fork has place in farming. I only use it left fork in farming 3 times in 1 year. Yes, 4 times now that I use it on the recent event. I have him for 1 year. I use it left fork 4 times. Anyone else use it more? But then if you consider his inheritance of the Steel Light, of course he deserves a higher place. Where is that Mirza again? Turn 2 damage is just very limited, guys. I don't think that he deserves higher than this. See, we even have Ventus here. When you have to choose between turn 1 and turn 2, your character can attack in any wave. It's just easy to build a squad around. But when you have to bring a character to attack only on the second turn, the event has to be like 2 waves. First wave has minions, second wave has a boss. And it doesn't happen all the time. Or original Mirza's Triple S. It's still there because of the Steel Blade Light and being immune to dark. But again, it's all about the skill itself. You could just say that the Lunar New Year is better if you inherit. It is. Although this one can self-heal. But it's all about the Mirza still being the best Steel Blade Light user in the game. He is. But Leon was demoted and also Gaddard was demoted as well. Gaddard is only here because he still has the attack, right? And if someone doesn't have Mirza or Leon, they can still use Gaddard. But this was also discussed. We were thinking about moving Mirza down. Which inheritance only Mirza on the same level, but without he's not that great. Yes. Also, finished out saying, why human for news is double S tier? Which human for news you are talking about? Because we actually have 2. We have this and that. Actually, people say that this version of for news deals good damage. I don't know. I don't have the style. He buffs himself with each hit, remember? How many times he attacks? 3 times. 3 hits, 8 BP, and he buffs his intelligence with each hit, 40 power. It's not bad. But he also doesn't have many damage passives. He needs a strong weapon himself, and he's a hybrid. I think he's a better damage dealer when you don't have many options and you need lightning. But I don't have the character. Do you think that is not that good? You think he deserves to be demoted? Like this? Even 5% with decay, 12.5 after 4 turns. I can do the calculation on Excel. But there's also another trick that we forget sometimes. So you have to attack before the enemy for it to actually work for 4 turns. If you attack after the enemy, it only actually work for 3 turns. But it's 5, 5, 5, 5. And then you have, on turn 4, this first one will be... let me do this. It's 12.5, yes. If your character don't attack before the boss, you actually only have 3 stacks, right? So you only have the 7.5 effect. If your character attacks, in the case of Time Lord, he goes first. Yeah, it's 12.5 if he goes first. Some other characters are not so fast when they buff, and if they attack only after the boss and all the other characters attack, the value of the keys will only last for 3 turns. Time Lord also misses a lot and does not work with delay order. Delay order? Why do you say he doesn't work with delay order? My thing with Time Lord is that a character that's extremely niche does not deserve to be high. Because even when he works, he's not the only character that works. When I had to use Leon the Assassin battle, I was crying. He was taking so much damage, but he was also important on that fight. We need to get back to discuss Burv and Boss. Also, I think if you want to move them up, I think also Fornews deserves to be moved up. I mean, this Fornews. Oh my god, now we are just... And then there's Laura. Aren't we just grading them too high? Hey Cher, welcome Rest in Dev. Don't know over why Liza is fairly high. I fell asleep last night early. Sorry if I missed something. I was saying that Liza still has value because she's pretty powerful for long fights. She is the only cold damage dealer that deals insane damage after Leon, and she buffs the party. She's always buffing her status. He evades a lot. Her damage is not as bad as some people think. She attacks with that row attack and then with the 3 hits attack every time. Row, 3 hits, row, 3 hits. And she buffs herself in all of her attacks. I do believe that she's still there, although she's the closest to be demoted from the list. But I still think she's a good character, even if you don't have all the other triple S units. The only passive that does not trigger from delay order because he needs to attack. Oh yeah, if you use delay order, he does not trigger his passive, you are right. So you actually have to choose between the 2 versions. Depends. And like that for news, also I don't have it, however. I agree. I have that for news, he's fun, but I don't use him much. I don't have the other limited ones. Is it because we don't have many content that is weak to lightning? What do you guys think? But Capybara is right. We need to discuss the placements of the SS Plus before we move on, so that we move from tier to tier and don't get too lost. Or for you, let me look on the style. I still not know the rotation was that good. She has one of the best rotations. She actually has to skip 1 turn to have the perfect rotation because she uses 10, but she recovers 6, and then Ride the Waves is 1, and she recovers 4. So if you skip 1 turn, you have 4 rotations of Ride the Waves and Wave Rush. All of them will buff her agility, and Wave Rush will buff the agility of everyone. He also has the Heat Up effect and the Defense Up. She gets 25 damage reduction, plus minus 20 if you use on your mark twice. Some people will use on your mark, sometimes you don't need to, so she gets up to minus 20, minus 25 for defenses. She gets up to how much damage again? Heat up, 5 heat ups, 110% damage passives for long fights. Well, she's a beast in Remembrance. She's one of the best martial arts units on Remembrance. I see that's somewhat impressive. Liza is still very, very good. Thanks for joining us, some Linux, and I do agree. I still believe she's very good. She's one of the best martial artists, and she'll be on all Remembrance fights. I know that it's hard to use her, but it was harder to use her on normal content because of not being capable of bringing Pian of Peace. Because she needs you to bring Pian of Victory with Matchwork in order to scale her damage even further. But now, you can bring other people to buff Will. Not always, but you can. You can now bring Time, you can now bring Global X Diana, you can also bring Nawal's Daughter, for example. Those characters will buff Will as well. Is there a set of things that make characters good, like buffing? Because maybe even a short list of these things, then you can rate based off those key things. I think that's what I say on the reviews, but, well, you cannot judge just based on this key things, I guess. Because a character can feel like 4 rolls sometimes, 3 rolls, 2 rolls. Just Boston up, leave the rest down if you ask me. What do you guys think about the 4 news, Boston, and Burva discussion? And also Therese. I didn't see anyone saying that Therese is deserving a triple S grade. What do you guys think? I think she's pretty cool. I was thinking she deserved. But I don't have the character to say myself. She does competitive single target damage, but she's doing column and row as well. Yeah, I even use her on farm, sometimes I forget, but it's just that it's kind of hard to find enemies aligned on column, and they are also weak to cold. She's a primarily cold damage dealer, not blunt. She will be a blunt damage dealer when we get into her next summer style. Lynn says, "Oh snap, you're live early than 2 AM for me this time." How you're doing? Thanks so much for coming, Lynn. Earlier today, yes, to try to see more people, different people than yesterday. So we are discussing the tier list. All feedback is appreciated. We are discussing the placements of these characters. Nork says, "I think characters with skills that counter rather than passives need to parry for them to be on triple S. Otherwise, they can get work down over a few turns and they cannot counter every turn. Some of them can try to resist that, like, well, Farnews heals when he counters. Boston buffs his Android to survive. But Burva doesn't do anything, right? I don't think he has anything that makes him survive better, or does he? I don't remember much. No. No. He can negate Blunt when he's on Overdrive, but only on Overdrive. Also, he doesn't have a damage reduction passive. Yeah, in my opinion, Burva's inferior. I could see Boston and Farnews higher, but Burva no. He can die faster. While they have those 2 different mechanics where they can take more damage. Hello, Sing, how are you? Welcome. Robin Joe is busted. She is, and not just for farming. People have been using her as an intelligence debuffer and damage dealer. I used her many times in the game. Remember when we had those fights against the elemental bosses before Egg? I used her as intelligence debuffer, and then when the time was right, like Overdrive, I was nuking with her and she was doing insane damage with Spectacle Portal. But she's also a queen on farming. Someone says I don't have Therese. I do have Farnews in Boston. Never bothered training Boston, and I haven't used the older Farnews style in ages. Mage is at least helpful. You're right. Oh yeah, Robin Joe is Sue's up there, or isn't she just a farmer too? No, she's not. Exactly. I think I just answered your question. Joe is also probably the best intelligence debuffer in the game. Why is she the best intelligence debuffer? I think it needs to be discussed, but I do discuss in for a review as well. But let's do this again. Joe. Robin Joe. Exactly, Robin out, right? Headbutt is an attack that actually deals good damage for free. And she has a chance to debuff intelligence. But she buffs her own intelligence on the start of a turn by 15%. She has kind of the highest intelligence in the game by 1% only. And because she buffs her intelligence, she has some of the highest chances to debuff in the game, because she keeps self-buffing. If the enemy has a will buff passive to buff will every turn, she can still break that. If the enemy has insane will, she will steal the buff, and she has a chance to buff her intelligence yet again, and also heal. on a boss fight, this is very helpful. Yeah, she's pretty fragile, but well, we can now kind of work that with formations. So by having a free attack that she can use every time to debuff intelligence, it's helpful. People also like to inherit from her A style this A style, Water Hammer. So she can debuff with a stronger attack. It's stronger even through says B because it's based on intelligence. Some people say that she does not have high dexterity, but she also has high STR. On global, STR now increases accuracy. I haven't seen she missing headbutt besides one single boss. There was just one single boss where headbutt didn't work. The enemy evaded, but it was only one. But of course, I also work on my Joe to give her plus STR and plus intelligence. So she is pretty strong for that. She also can inherit Aqua Viper, but then it's, yeah, just for farming. That I understand. Aqua Viper can solo sometimes. But I use Spectacle Portal as a inheritance option. And then Sparkling Nice when I'm about to kill the boss. Anyone think that Joe does not deserve to be high? Since says I'm right, doing mod duty. Mod duty in Discord, something? Rapina is the only counter style I found useful, to be honest. It's just that, well, we barely have events where a counter unit shines, and then when they shine, it's just for one element, so you have to choose. And sometimes, well, Rapina just works. Therese is strong, but as much as the other damage dealers is triple S, I don't know, but she's clearly on the top double S plus. Yeah, but since now we have only... we don't have any left to right anymore, it's either triple S or double S. But thanks for the feedback, let's talk more about that. Robin Joe plus I token super good combo. Very good combo, yeah. Buffs her dexterity, buffs her damage. Can give her more BP. No to Burva. So yeah, seems like most people don't like Burva. Double P says keep it here, so I don't know. Joe is busted. Boston's lobster, so he gets additional score for that. Ah, yeah. You're right. Speedy says well, we don't get many archer units if that is a consideration. Might be a triple S. No, that's not a consideration. We don't grade a character based on the weapon itself. That would be hard to grade, especially because, guys, one thing that needs to be considered. Although the hardcore players like to do content like Remembrance, it's actually just a small part of the game. When you get like stage 15, for example, you can use random units to get to stage 15, for example. And then you can say, oh, this character is very good to allow you to beat stage 20. But check inside the game. What do you get from clearing stage 15 and stage 20? What's the value in that? It's not worth 45,000 gems, that I can assure you. We get even more and more Remembrance battles, but even then, you need like 4 months to save to get one weapon. And if you leave your axe, your bow, or your rapier on stage 15, you will not be missing much. So we have to be careful when evaluating a character just because of Remembrance battles. Also, you only need to clear it once and done. Is Kylie on SS Plus just because of Scrum Guard? But Kylie does not have Scrum Guard. Who said he has? He doesn't. Kylie is because he's a buffer. His attacks are pretty cool. He also buffs with passive. Many people use him. I don't have the character to have a bigger evaluation, but I know everyone that has him says that he's very good. Robin Joe is good on boss fight. She's a 100% triple S. I agree with that. Speaking of bow users, new Monica ended up being super useful, very strong for all 3 Remembrance fights. If you lack Therese, she's definitely a must-have. Yeah, and she also has rapiers. I think she's on the SS- grade, but people may want her higher. Where is she? Or is just that? No, she's on SS normal. She gives that dexterity buff to her rapier version, and you'll be using on both to Remembrance, rapier and bow. I'll lean towards emoting all three you are discussing at the moment. You mean for news in Boston? And Therese? Therese down to SS Plus like she was, like Darky. And for news in Boston down to SS. Therese for news in Boston. Therese has great options for cycling. If she gets hit too many times, she has heals on her S3 for self-sustain, does pretty good damage otherwise, if not triple S, then at least on top of SS+. But again, Norix, we don't have any more left to right options, so if it's on SS+, it's just like in the same grade as everyone else. It's not about, oh, she's a little better than this other character here, for example, because that was also part of the reason why we could not update this tier list with ease, because it's not objective when you say Therese is better than Madeline. They just do two different things. And I think people brains work more like me see stage, me want to beat stage. And you usually think about what makes more difference in a fight. We usually start with buffers. We choose our buffers, then we choose our support, and then we choose the damage dealer. Damage dealer can be the best one, but it can also be the second best one. You just have to kill the enemy. It can take time, but if you have enough sustain, you just won't die. Oh, I see that I would say double S plus for Therese. Is that right? What I think that there's more feedback on being on SS plus than being on triple S. About Boston and for news, I think that the case here is that they are hardly used. It's more about that. And once again, we had part of the game where you needed a counter unit. You could not clear something if you didn't have one. Like Tower. I remember stage 200 from Tower had like 4 units and they were attacking you, but their damage was just too high and you didn't have a formation or anything that could survive. So you needed a counter strategy. But we don't have this content anymore. The characters that we have bring enough sustain. The formations that we have help with sustain. So you can kill them with damage. I remember that when we got the second run of the World Tower, I didn't even use for news anymore because I could kill. So that's why I believe that although work, they are just extremely niche now. Boston can also UE the buff STR for 3BP. That's right. How many times do we need a single target? I mean, an AoE STR debuff with his intelligence? That's up to question. Remember that Boston doesn't have high intelligence. %80 only. It's better than Sekisushai. Sekisushai has 70th, I guess. Oh, 65. I barely believe Sekisushai will debuff anything. Boston did debuff many times. I remember using Boston against... what's the name of Finn again? What's the name of Finn again? Ludwig, indeed. I think the real question is Therese better than Chooser? No. She's not. She does more damage on turn 1, but over long fights, no. She can't do as much damage. I'd say Chooser is better. It is. Well, Fornews can be used as an indirect damage dealer in boss fights, and Boston can be used as a debuff. All of this is without to have to counter. Do you think that is not enough to make the SS plus? The thing is that if we think like that, we're going to move too many characters to the tops, and then it makes no much sense to have SS plus, SS, and SS minus. I think that we kind of get locked, just like my feeling when trying to update the tier list of not knowing how to place them, since there's just so many of them. So... I don't know, we can give the same benefit to other characters like this Emerald. You can say, oh, but this Emerald is just so good, she can counter with agility when there's too many enemies and things, okay. How many times do you really use this? Not many, hence why they were all on the same grades. And like I said, I like Boston, but I need to be objective. So, just like Laura as well. Pretty cool characters, right? But how many times do you really need that? Just like you're saying, Yeah, you can use for indirect attacks, but you can also use Shooter now. He's a full indirect pierce damage dealer. And blood. The damage from Fornews is also very, very bad now. I tried to use him on some setups, but damage was just not there. The Triple S cards ones that are great for the team, buffing, debuffing, or sustain, or someone who is amazing on damage, like Robin Joe. Not many cards are on par with, for instance, White Rose, for example. Yeah, White Rose is still unique because wheel debuffs can be game breaking if you need them to be very high because of hard challenges. And they are much more important than endurance buffs. Left it on SS. Did you delete Burva, by the way? I did not delete Burva. I mean, I think I did not. Did I? Did I delete him by accident? No, I think I moved it in somewhere. Bottom left of SS. Ah, okay, but now I just moved it in everyone again. I still think there is maybe up for discussion, but let me check if I miss it. If I did miss something, guys, please type again. Let me see here. Let me see. In group damage has engine enough, he might be considered sliding down to SS. He's being moved from Triple S, so I think we can still leave him here till people see more stuff about him. I still use him on farming. We'll probably use him on Remembrance, but he's getting close to being demoted. I think his case is the same as Alosis, for example. A character that is not on his prime anymore, although when he works, he still works well. Did you see my comment about Brook? I just did. Now let's delete everything, start over. No, Norix, no! Please, no. I remember people saying that Capivara told me that Dr. Nuzakan should be moved to SS, and he's here. Well, when you consider everyone else here, I think that Shiato was up to question if moving up or not, but then people say that his damage is not that high as it could be. We have other damage dealers that are more situational, like Galaxy from Musical Emperor. We have the older versions of Princess White Rose. They are not as game-changing anymore. We have the Buffer Rouge. Wheel Buffer and a Dart. BP Battery and you need. When I look on these characters, I see that they have this similar potential, usually. Oh yeah, he's starting to just drop in usefulness due to aging out of damage on his front. Low damage is lower than like Rofa's. His main benefit was more sustained. I was talking to Neoflux yesterday, and he says that Alos is still strong because of the single target cycle. If you can manage to kill the enemy, it's more interesting than his AoE cycle. His single target cycle is as powerful as the single target cycle of Bertrand. The problem being that he needs a dedicated weapon while Bertrand needs a rainbow that most people have maxed. But they are not that different. The thing is, he can attack 3 times in a row with his own attack. Bertrand can only attack 2 times with his Abaddon hands. I wish Vasalt was better. I like his art and his elements. Up to date to the top says... Oh, 22. Sorry, let's fix this. Some characters are pretty good. Like this Selma is good for Remembrance, but nothing more than that. I don't think that Isildur is as strong as the other SS plus farmers we have because he needs enemies with low HP to be able to solo. By leaving most of the counter units here on SS, I think it's cool. Dozy, welcome. Sorry, Wi-Fi super crappy, just popping in. Thanks once more for always being a member of this channel. Thank you so much, Dozy. I also saw your comment that you said that you were going to download to watch while working. Thank you, my friend. As always, I really appreciate. You are a member for 22 months. You are one of the oldest members, if you're not the oldest one. You are tied with someone. Yes. Gathered Imperial Assault's 20% damage buff, right? Imperial Assault, only to the dedicated stuff. So the Imperial Assault itself is only 10%. 10%. Wait. On JP it's 10%, but in Global it will be interesting to test this again. I don't remember if people tested for real, or if they just chose the JP values. Medium effect. But I guess it's not, because start off round buffs are different than other types of buffs. This is just so confusing. But from JP it's only 10%. Those is here the real true fan. We probably have to do the same tomorrow. I see, but thanks so much, man. No matter how you watch, I always appreciate the support. Those is the true fan. Yes. Hey, Zedok, you are here, but you are silent. Talk more about the feedback here. Do you agree with what people are saying? What do you think? Speedy says that Fought Bird can be saved with dedicated weapon, but then she needs a style. Bertrand? Last you're going when you get off in an hour. I'll probably be up for 1 hour or 1 hour and a half. I do think Gerard and Leon are pretty much the same for long battles, which is what you're using then for if you're still play light. Yeah, Leon is still a little of a unique thing with his buff. Just that. This is the only thing that makes him a little better. But also he can inherit Moonlight to heal on desperate situations. While Gerard doesn't have this. I guess Moonlight alone makes Leon always better. I use it that in some desperate situations. I use Moonlight in order to revive someone because I didn't have anyone else that could revive. Well, thanks Andy and Zadok, Mr. Peer Pressure. They made you summon. Hello Lenore, how are you? Welcome back. Oh my god, I was thinking it would be different like 20. Yes, I understand why, because medium for attack boost is 20 or 25, don't remember. I always have to check these values when I do the reviews because it's confusing. It is confusing. Everyone here feels the same? Who remembers every single value for passives? I think not even the hardcore players do. Did you see my comment on Johan? I did not. Let me see this. Maybe I missed it. Johan stands out as but in his tier on damage, but I don't know, not easy unit to use. No, Johan's just too risky. Too risky. Extremely risky. Where is he? SS or SS minus? Extremely risky character that does not pay off because Leon just obliterates him. Johan's on SS. No, he does not deserve SS plus. To allow Johan to survive, we need to build a squad around Johan. His damage potential is not even that high because he's a martial artist. And especially now. Well, of course, he does Blunt and Silver does Sun. But she also mixes sometimes with Blunt, right? She deals much more damage than Johan while being defensive, having heals, even having everything. Silver is like leagues ahead of Johan. Is this Pink Hair Emerald any good? And remember that her nuke is RNG. Pink Haired Emerald. I think her name is... good question. Good question. Emerald? She's not called Emerald. It's a different name. Onyx. She has 65% damage, buffs her own intelligence and BP. She can hit from 1 to 6 times. It's similarly RNG. She can inherit. What's the name of that attack again? Fireball plus Firestorm plus. She's actually one of the best agility debuffers in the game because she self-buffs intelligence all the time. She has very good damage, bad sustain, very bad sustain. And has a 1 BP attack that debuffs agility. She's one of the best agility debuffers in the game, that's for sure. How important is that? I don't know. Still, let me see where we have other agility debuffers. She also does not miss. And Shira misses because she does not buff her intelligence. Drummer Virgil is SS plus, is probably high. He can only do 1 wave. But he's sometimes the only character capable of soloing stuff. You have to remember that his attack is 4S with roll. 4S is just too big. Accompanied by Polka and Dorito, of course. She's your main farm mage. I don't have the character, but I do know she's pretty strong. Buffing her intelligence every turn and that many damage passives. But is that enough to keep her just playing SS? I don't know, I think. No one here is such a extreme powerful character. We are comparing her to people that are on similar leagues. Was the blank stop next to Global X Rufus from the start? Who was there? Good question. I think it was Alosis. But then we moved someone and then he's now there. Me, of course, that's all I do, memorize numbers. Do you? Do you, Andy? Do you remember all the damage passives? Virgil being tougher with Rufus and Rook just makes sense. Yeah, together with Dana, yes. Some of the biggest nukes in the game. No one does as much roll damage as him. Virgil being together. Okay, 4 BP a turn. 2, yes. She do her RNG nuke every other turn. If you like that, did you use that for bossing? So, any other character to discuss? Let me see if there are some people saying stuff on Discord. No, this time no one is saying anything on Discord. I think the problem is more about the SS minus list. People had problems with some of these characters. I think I can delete this row. So here we have old damage dealers and characters with even more niche utility. Like, well, we have Real Queen, we have characters with bad cycles, unnecessary ones, like, well, you know, that this guy's not that important anyway. We have characters with bad rotations but powerful attacks, with ailments. I do believe that is Apollo is still okay because he's the best paralyzer. The bird version of Apollo is just a little better. Bird version is 1 tier higher. Joe, old Joe is just here because, well, she can still be used if you want. Old Fuse was promoted, now he's an SS minus. Whoa, I deleted the SS minus text. You have old characters, some with bad cycles, some that are not as strong anymore, some that have way too much competition. Mirza, Madeline, and Noel. Noel has a very bad cycle. Very bad cycle. I really don't like this guy. I try to use him here and there, but then, look, the reason why Noel is not that good is because he was released together with Christmas and Press, and this Noel, let's talk about him. He opens with this attack, that is 10 BP, right? Then you cannot use it again when farming. You just can't unless you trigger Revitalize. And if you are farming, you should not be considering passives that trigger BP. So I used it here on Final Island for now. His damage is not that high. Look, the first passive is just 10% damage and revive. Then he has his chance to heal MVP, nothing that special, and high protect tension. But then we just have so many slash damage dealers in the game that he's just, you know, easy to replace. Extremely easy to replace. His attacks are not that good. His air dance slash starts with slash and blunt, and then does blunt and, well, blunt with STR. You need to bring a formation for that. I mean, for farming, right? I don't know. Noel got stuck with mix-it-up passives. Yeah. Do you think that he deserves to be on SS? I think that the SS characters we have here are usually better than him. Look on them. Give a look on there. He doesn't have a single target nuke. He doesn't have good rotations. The best rotation he has is the Air Dance Slash. And he can only use this 2 times in a row. A terrible rotation. The Twilight Flash can open and then he uses Horizontal Cut, but Twilight Flash hardly, if ever, kills a wave. He can kill waves. That's most of his problems. Noel works similar to Summer Katarina, right? Summer Katarina? Summer Katarina is much more defensive, though. You mean this Katarina? Let's check her again. Well, she has that chance to follow up with the heal attack. She has the Iron Wall defense. That's better than High Protect Tension. Look who is here. Pretinha. She has Waterfall Blade that can be found in many units. She does have Crashing Wave Flash that can be used 2 times with her second Welfare. But when she uses it with the second Welfare, she can solo some content. Where's the Global Axe again? Man, it's just so many Katarinas that I get confused. This is Slash and Cold. They are a little similar, but she has a chance to follow up with the Watermelon Cut. She kinda works if you want in hard challenges. You think that he's too close to Katarina to be lower? I think maybe Rock's Fleeting Beauty should be higher. No. She's just too old. Her status aren't as impressive anymore, even though she has so many inheritances. But let's say Rock. She was on the top for so much time, but now 81% agility, 96% intelligence will miss. That is a problem. Very hard challenge she'll be missing. She does not self-buff, she does not get PP per turn. She has 0 BP attack, can amplify Blooming Fireworks, can also amplify from her S style Dark Wash, but then she doesn't have as much BP to generate, and I think her problem now is being too old. Yeah, Max's Summer was unkillable when she came out. Now it's just too old. She's still SS, but not on the higher grades. Noel heals only with that skill. No, he heals with the passive as well, 25%. Katarina has 50% to chase. How is Angry Cat doing, by the way? Masamune, he's doing fine. Let me get to show you. Angry Cat is here. Still looking angry, right? He's doing fine, and he was neutered. A little calm now. Still not perfect, but we play together now. Every day. Xavier says tier list for sexiness. Honeywell wins by default. Will be pretty hard to make. There's too many characters in this game. Too many summer styles. If anyone thinks that, Noah needs Waterfall Blade to be a good farmer, so he uses both row and column usefulness. Too bad I don't think he ever gets that. Yeah, Summer can... she gives access to the column and row attacks to the welfare style, but in my opinion, that was released alongside her to complement the character, so you should kind of consider her together with the welfare style. Luis Mango, nice! Yo, Shares, you got that big dog. Yes, we did! I thank Anonymous for doing this. As always, MVP, thank you so much. I did that on the start. Also, just thank you for being here. You are also a very helpful member. Always remember that. The SS minor ones that I use are all Carl. He's not as good as the other, but he's a good tank. Nanu Ray, Ruby, still the best. Yes, I use Ruby. I like Ruby. I know that she's not that good, but I like her so much. She's an SS minus. One of the best builder buffers in the game. The same comment can be said to Mama 1, you know, Char? 0 to 0, unless they rate her as an inheritance. Boom. Not exactly. Well, that Katarina was given out for free during the release of Global X Katarina. I mean, Summer Katarina, like we call. So you should say that everyone that has one has the another. While Matriarch 1 you need to summon for, and she is a separate entity that gives inheritance to another Matriarch. So I don't think that they are close in how we express them. Oh, I think Noah can be tougher with Katarina. Nice, that's good to see, says Masamune. Rest Dev says, yeah, it's a little opinion. Options plus blooming fireworks. I think it's a bit borderline because intelligence is a little low, but not terrible. But you know, she missed it. I used her on some boss fights and she missed it. She missed it. Again, it was against the elemental bosses that came together with Egg. She missed it. Many people miss it there. Like, you know who missed it? There. And why she's hard to be placed on a high position now. This one here. Shira. But it was not that Shira. It was even the newest one. I needed to give her 16 plus intelligence and she still missed it a little. Shira, the newest style, has 96 agility, 113 intelligence. See? Much higher values and she was missing. And now we have Rock. Rock, okay. 81 agility, 96% intelligence. When you look and say, oh, it's only 20% of this status, 15% of the other. No, it's a big difference because here in this game, small values make all the difference. Hey, New Flux is here. Howdy, thank you so much for joining us. Who is that to left of martial arts and media? Good question. Where is that Emilia again? Emilia is all about leaving a nuke and getting away with that. Where is she? Is she on SS minus? I think she should be moving up if she's on SS minus. Yeah, it's wrong. She should be moving up. She can still do good damage with the gun inheritances. The Cursed Tone Lord, so you can hear the beats. That cursed boss, exactly, copy. She missed it there. Many times. And you read my comment later. I mean, the comment on Global X Rock can be said the same thing as Mama 1. Review and style is it without inheritance consideration. Ah, okay, I see, Andy. Sorry for that. Ruby was a good roll compression. Yes, indeed. Oh, snap. What's up? What you said, does he? She needs to be here, I guess, because her damage is still pretty big. I cannot keep her down. Although, who else here does big damage and... You know someone that does not do big damage anymore? Dora. Anyone else? Balmain? Is Balmain here on SS minus? He is. This and black is terrible. I mean, still not as terrible as some very old units, but man, it's hard to use this. Let me check Balmain. Anyone agree with Balmain? Dora is fine, feels the surprisingly good. Yes. Characters that have as primary status dexterity do surprisingly good even when old. Neoflux says Diana as SaGa Frontier is very useful for farming. She has fast attack, right? Let me just check your Balmain again, and he does have a lot of damage, right? 70%, and he buffs STR. As a cold. Yeah, I'm wrong, I guess that. By the way that we are making this tier list, he needs to be up. I don't remember this guy here, I forgot his name. But you said Gianna, right? I think that the problem with Gianna is that her damage potential is very limited. Her fast attack also has very low damage. Gale Mirage Blade. If I remember correctly, Gale Mirage Blade has only 21 mod. That is just the start of the V power. If that is right, then she does not deserve to be higher because that damage is very bad. It's just like the original Human Forneus. He was just so helpful, he could solo some waves. He plus someone could double team, but now he can't. Just can't. $24 on JP. 24 is not that big. But she can attack 2 times in a row, right? Is that good enough reason to leave her up? Yeah, I don't use the dragons anymore. Without requires just too much. Yeah, not even on Final Island I use anymore. My Balmain was soloing the first wave on that Valentine event, and he was 40. Ah, he was made for that event. Once again, let me check the damage passives. Attack boost of medium and extreme. I don't think it's that bad. What do you think, Neoflux? You think she should be moved up? I will get her and place her here for discussion, and we'll hear more feedback. Guys, please give me feedback on Diana. What do you think about her? This guy, I forgot his name. Kazinsi. People call him Kazinsi. Kazinsi. What about Mirza and Madeline? But didn't we discuss then? I don't think that Madeline deserves to be higher than that. Totally don't think. Like I was saying, Masamune, 10% was so helpful before. After the foraging system was released, that 10% is just that little increase when you just do need 2,000 more damage. I mean, how helpful is that? Usually translates to less than 5% damage increase. So he has this high battle tension. No. He's not that good. He should stay there where he is. Dahao is not that useful anymore. Dahao, not witch daughter. High battle tension always feels like it's a wasted slot now, because just 1 BP plus it's... And the Mirza case was that left fork, like I said, I use it only 4 times in the game. Or when you have a fight against Honeywell and you start with 20 BP. What do you think about Mirza? You're saying that he deserves to be on SS? Is that what you're saying? That's not all she has, though. S3 is good. Sometimes you use over Luna Fulgur. Yeah, you do, but also remember that you have this Princess Lion, and I use her as much as Princess Lion now. If I move her, I will have to move this one. This Princess Lion has probably some of the highest turn to AoE damage in the game now, and she's a welfare. I use her in all Final Island runs now. She's so easy to use, has big damage. She has bad rotation. Her S3 is cool, but after that, she doesn't have anything. Her attacks are kind of bad. But what if everyone else thinks about this Madeline? Ignore Luna Fulgur. Focus on what she has by herself. The slash damage increase. What do you think? She should be moved up or not? Time Lord says... J-Prack. Welcome, J-Prack. You are saying Time Lord bottom FSS minus. What do you think? You think that's wrong? Why do you think it's wrong? Let's discuss this. French Tao says, I don't understand this human Kazinsi style. So Nietzsche instant kill on counter is not easy to use. Maybe once against Dark event. Yeah, he does have that chase, but it's mostly just a shadow damage dealer, and shadow is pretty hard to use. Very, 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 very weak. Look on this wheel. I think it's one of the lowest values in the game. I think Madeline can be where she is right now. Nah, it's probably right. Action up is Nietzsche and his own shadow. That's what I think. Capivara says that Madeline deserves to be where she is. Look, we also have this Antonius that is also very useful when you really need him. That turn 1 fast attack is pretty cool. I think I used it on the same levels. Those 3 freestyles here. Lion, Antonius, and Madeline. I used them with the same value. Used them all in Final Island, and that's it. Final Island. On farming, depends. I can use it on farming. All 3, even. All 3. They are not game changing, they are easy to use. Neoflux says, Regiana, descend 2 times while element fast is very rare. Only ScherBR, Metrork, Pyrex, and Loot have it. No, there's one. Oh, wait. No, I think you're right. Only ScherBR, Metrork, Pyrex, and Loot have it, and their versions are all lower damage. ScherBR C power, right? Since we have Mask Urpina here, she deserves. Mask Urpina deals similar damage without being fast. You're right. What about Mirza? I think there is a reason to discuss Mirza, of being here or not. Love Figure says, so many characters. Yeah. You like this Diana? I think you have a point, Neoflux. Mirza, I need to discuss, but I really believe that both Madeline, Antonius, and this Princess Lion need to be together, because even now this Platinum Annie, this limited Leon, yeah, I don't see he being more useful than this Platinum Styles, to be honest. I use them more than him. How about Death? Party passive for farming, turn to a new big damage. No, terrible cycling. Terrible cycling. Has delay when attacking, very bad for boss fight cycling. And the turn 2 nuke has an extremely high cost that does not have any reason to be so high. The boost is just 5%. 555. It's not that big anymore. And mastery buffs are very, very bad. From his attack, he has you use Funeral Parade that does not even do that much damage as you guessed. I tried to clear waves with that many times. It did work on 2 events and that's it. Never again. Beast Grudge is strong but has delay. It cannot be used on boss. I mean, in farming, because it has delay. And when you think about using that on bossing, why? Why would you bring it? So I guess that there's just problems. The single target cycle is not used in farming, and the full AoE attack is a one and done thing, so... One and done thing. Weaker than Princess Lion. I like the SS Plus, SS, and SS Minus. It seems convoluted, but it's necessary for comparison among meta and current standard units, whereas S and below it's mostly due to aging and outdated. You're right, J-Pract, that was the idea behind this. Diana SF2 seems so niche, and even if I had her, I never used her over other counter specialists. Double P, he's not talking about the counter mechanic, more about the fast attack, and that having fast attack is nice because, well, let's say you want to use Bertrand or Alosis or some other characters, and you need a character that will attack before and you don't want to change the formation. Having fast attackers, it's cool. They help some farming. She has dual element as well. That is what makes her so helpful. Howling Death is triple S skin, but not as a style. I agree. How important is OD in terms of character value? Usually makes no difference. OD mechanics are only important if the character has something special about activating OD. You like Kazinci art? It's pretty cool. Most art in this game is pretty cool. Let me get down there again. I said for boss fights that you need 5 turns to do damage. Even then, has too much RNG. Works, but not high. Not high in my opinion. I like Death a lot as a character. His musical style was disappointing, but a great design. Other styles are not that relevant. Just use him for AoE instant kill in Dojo. Yeah, with the inheritance makes sense, but this character, I don't think it was designed to have the inheritance. The inheritance makes it better, but it does not make it more important. As you can see, this death is higher because his skills are better. If you have both, okay, you inherit and then use, but it's not that you need one to make the other better. This one already works well, and it even buffs intelligence and will every turn. Something that this one doesn't, only 5%. New death is still better than the old death though? No. No. That's a common problem when discussing death, because, look, the second death buffs 15% intelligence and will. This can be huge. I know that the intelligence and agility values are bad when you compare it to the current one. But even when being bad, it still out-damages the newest death. And buffing will allow you to resist more damage, right? Look, this one doesn't have that much higher will. The first trigger of that will already makes it the same levels. Look, 70, and you buff 15%, you get even higher, and you already beat this value. It's on the start of a turn as well, so this intelligence starts on 101. And then you buff on the first turn, you get already higher intelligence. The only thing that it loses is on agility. But with a single trigger of the energized passive, you already brought this death into same will and intelligence than Rider death. And then you get even more status because it's 15% every turn. So you easily out-damage this version. Also, this one revives once. Even with fired up 5, you still do more damage. People may say that we have this Halloween time, but it's only 3 times in battle. In long fights, it just does not help. It's not important. Death has plus BP, but this version needs, but the past version does not. This one has a 10 BP attack, an 8 BP attack, a 2 BP attack. Well, the attacks are pretty cheap already. If you really want to use Death, that is. UDX 2.0 Death is better, yes, says Reprac. That I agree. Second Death is the best by far. Yeah, I was saying second one is better when the Halloween one was released and people disagreed. Did people disagree? I can understand people disagreeing because of the agility. The only big difference here is the agility. 78 to 115, it's pretty high. And then when you want to use the inheritance attacks on Dojo, using the newest death makes sense. But this death does not work well in boss fights, while the other one does. If you really want to use death in boss. I agree, I guess I only use death for turn 1 UEIQ. Okay, and tell me, where did you put this older version of death, Sure? Higher. Here, SS. While this one is SS minus. At least here, it makes sense, right? Yeah. Xavier says, I see OD is mostly gimmick. Yeah, for people that trigger a new skill when they are on OD. Problem for Biker Death did not even start with 11 BP, so he cannot use his UDX on attack. Well, yeah, there's problem with cycling as well. Anyone else has opinions on Mirza, just so that we move on? Masamune brought this topic. I know that this attack is stupid. Left fork is stupid. I even used it in Mirza on that event where you start with 20 BP, and he was doing the same damage as 4 S attacks while being resisted by 50 points with an enemy. The enemy had 50 points of resistance against Slash. I used the left fork. It did more damage than many characters with 4S damage. It's stupid. Left fork is stupid, and I am eager to see Albert using that. Left fork is insane, and to be honest, Cher, the new Albert's gonna be triple S, in my opinion. It's a contendant. It's a contendant. We'll see when it arrives. I also use left fork in 20 BP fights. That's the thing. Yeah, I said I only use the left fork like 4 times, or when we have, you know, events with 20 BP, Honeywell fights. It is good on paper, but he doesn't miss a lot. He's missing with his dexterity. Really? Oops. 70% dexterity. I still see many characters with 70% dexterity. But you're right, when I use it in for Steel Blade Light, he misses it sometimes. Polka does not miss. You know why Polka does not miss? There's a trick behind Polka. Another of the reasons why this guy is so overpowered. Polka buffs STR when he gets hit. In the game now, STR also increases accuracy. 1/4 of your STR will increase your accuracy. So even if your Polka misses on turn 1 after getting hit, sometimes he just has such a big accuracy that he does not miss. Something that Mirza, Gathered, and Neon will never have. Left fork is one of the best skills in the game. It is. But what do you think, guys? Should we leave Mirza on SS or SS minus? Again, we are not considering Steel Blade Light because it's not a skill that defines this Mirza. He is better by inheritance, but not all characters should be considered with inheritance. I do only use Lunar New Year Mirza for Steel Blade Light when I have it too, but it's so rare, I use Mirza now. Yes, Mirza, it's better when we have enemies that attack with shadow damage. Sometimes I even forget to bring him because I use Polka everywhere. Like was a fight against Death, and he could be used on a Rising Phoenix X formation there in the middle. Will be one of the best characters to use. But I forgot to bring him because Polka was in the team, and I think that Death was weak to fire. And then Polka just obliterated that. In the meanwhile, Polka is just so far above all the rest. He is absurd. I will move a little here. I will leave Mirza here and then move to S grade. Because we discussed the SS minus too much. We have a lot of old characters or characters that are not that powerful here. Some of them are niche, but not characters that we use more often than those that are higher. By the way, are you streaming for the Taiwanese live on Friday? I will, Newflux. I will. You can count on me. I don't know the time. Is it different than usual? But I'll try my best, even if it's 3 AM for example. It's usually not. It's usually 7 AM on my local time. But I will be streaming. I always stream when it's Taiwan. When it's global, I don't like streaming because I don't want to steal the audience. It's 8 AM for you, I think. Nice. Totally sure I'll be streaming. That welfare Rick is higher than S, dude. Can do everything. Yeah, but you do need such a very strong weapon to make him shine. I did craft one recently. But I didn't put him into use. You mean this Rick here? This Rick or the other welfare Rick? We have two welfare Ricks. What about the other styles? Let me check Rick again. I actually used the Young Xenon for farming in Final Island as the rotation is not bad. Let's do something here. Lost concentration. How we were discussing again? Ah, Rick. This is welfare Rick, right? I don't know why he has mastery as buff, but okay. Since he can kill and keep, yeah, maybe he deserves a little higher, especially with the welfares that we actually use a lot as well, like Antonius and Madeline. Young Xenon is on SS minus, and he has bad cycle, in my opinion. I use Rick as my Rising Nova user now. The one that I just showed. Let's talk about Xenon. You just mentioned it. Xenon, Young Xenon. %50 damage, passives. He opens well, but then stops there. And on 3 hits, 10 BP is not that big. It's triple S power. 4 hits, 4S power. We have many characters that can open with 4S damage now. Many. People still do more damage with him than the other Xenon. This Xenon here is still useful in my opinion. He negates damage for turn 1. What do you guys think? Since this Madeline is here, I think that he could still be on the SS minus, but I think he's a little old now. It's more about how we farm. We don't use a powerful attack and then weak attack anymore. It's hard to use disciple cycles. Remember him? He buffs his dexterity. Oh, by 20%. Enter evasion has 30%. It's not that bad. I think that he's even better. He has a free Noble Cross inheritance, and Noble Cross Plus has how much damage? 8 power, right? Yes, 8 power fast, not bad. Old but useful. What do you think? Should we move him? I think from this list here, he still does some decent damage. Yeah, that once you use Young Xenon replace it, but by Hilda, right? Yeah, Hilda is higher. Hilda is here. She has the same attack. Sparkle Q. So you agree, J-Prag? Well, Final Island is useful to have Sparkling Q. I don't have the best weapon. Xenon is doing 250k on 4 hits. Yeah, but then it's also like Xenon being able to do good damage as well here and there. It's not bad. It's still on SS minus. So what we should check here. The styles that are still useful most of the time should stop on SS minus. That's why I also believe that one of those two here, Flamar, I guess it's Flamar, should still be up. Is it Flamer? No, it's the other one. What's the name of the other one? Freely. Yes, Freely. Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Freely. Because she attacks 2 times with fast, right? She needs to be higher because at least SS minus. Flamer should be down. I think that DJ Honeywell can still work well with row attack. He can attack 2 times in a row. Not entirely sure, but what do you guys think? Should he be on SS minus? Laura is gonna mention her too, but could not remember her name. Yes, I could not remember the name as well. All of S's are basically inherit styles outside Rick and Matcha. You mean Mac? Well, Mac's not that far from you, right? Now you can get from the Platinum inheritance to keep the AoE attack, so if she's here, he also needs to be, right? Young Xenos useful for Final Island for sure, but Khan supplanted him for turn 1 pierce some damage, and Hilda is better. Yeah, Hilda also does more in Final Island. Yeah, GJ Honeywell SS minus. I think we may need more space here. Do we demote anyone that is on the SS minus? I think we have 5 rows, not that bad. 5 rows, 5 rows, 4 rows, 2 rows. Looks okay to me, but I'm not seeing anyone that should be demoted as right now. I've never used this Honeywell. I could. Honeywell is a cool character. He's actually strong. Let's talk about him a few. This Honeywell is... Honeywell has a strong attack. If you have the other Honeywell, I think he'd even do more damage. Honeywell crashes SS with 51. Of course, there's required, but you are farming, you don't care about that. How much damage passives this one has? We have here, what? 30? EJ Honeywell has 30% damage passives with bad status. Yes, very bad status, but still does good damage. While the other one has much better status, but how many damage passives? Well, status passives and 20% increase. Still does a little more damage than the free one. We'll get another version of Honeywell. The other one is Ceramic Honeywell. That one will be cool. Let's check this on JP. Ceramic Honeywell. They still won't give him too much status because they don't like welfare status to have higher than premium ones. So, but we have better damage. I think, let me check. Actually, no. No, we don't have better damage. When the HP drops to 0, stays on blah blah, and in addition when dying increase, reduce damage taken. No, the best we have for damage for free is the GJ Honeywell, unless they change. Only 15 for the second attack since he's not on full HP. Oh yeah, you were right, there's that. He relies on full HP, forgot about this. Hence why you need the premium one to do more damage. Maybe the Moat Vagnus. With the Moat Hin, yeah, Taria is down, so not bad. Oh yeah, Khan is surely a notch up and fine with Young Xenon being S minus. Right, SS minus. The Moat Maximus for attacking his own team. He does, right? Another one that attacks his own team is this Kazinsi. I think that we can even move him to S because it's just so bad. Did you use Kazinsi anytime, Newflux? Victims word attacks the party. You said also Maximus, right? Maximus is still good as a AoE debuffer. He only lost his throne to who's the who's that AoE wheel debuffer again? Rastaban. Rastaban is a better wheel debuffer for AoE. He debuffs 20, but then he does nothing else. It reduces 5%. So he opens debuffing wheel by 25. And if that is enough, okay. If not, he barely does anything. Then Rastaban does much better than him. Rastaban has the 20% debuff. Rastaban problem is he's a currency. That can be a problem. But when you debuff, we usually are against special stages, not exactly big bosses. He has a much better cycling because he can keep up debuffing wheel after turn 1. Something that Maximus doesn't. I used him for RS2 Assassin's fight, but nowhere else. I see. That is exactly a fight where it makes sense using him. I was kidding, he's fine where he is. SS roll for 6 BP looks insane as a skill. The skill itself is pretty strong, French style. Maybe the style has problems, but the skill itself is pretty cool. So what do you guys think? This Honeywell is down here, but you could just inherit the attack, but then it's not like it makes a big difference. It's not like the character itself is defined by this. This Honeywell is just too situational and RNG related. Good morning, Gods Leon. Can I have the sheet for this? It's on the description. You can check it. There's a lot of people checking with us. Actually, I should also click this button so that we can see more things on the screen. Sorry. This Platinum Narcissus is not to be an SS-. I've never used him. I guess because you have too many characters, it's not that bad. Platinum Narcissus has some good buffs. Oh, look. When landing an attack, he buffs his dexterity and intelligence by 15%. And landing an attack also gives small heal and also BP. So, that is cool. Then, when we have high battle tension, his damage is okay. He can debuff intelligence and inflict stun. 1 to 3 hits, that's not that good, but Rain of Arrows is exactly okay. He works for Remembrance, it's not that bad. But I don't know, we can demote him. But for bow, yeah, we should not consider the weapon like I said. Maybe not that good, but since he scales with his status, I thought that was reason not to keep him. Resting Dev says AoE Lightning Cycle for Max is bad. No, he can keep using full Lightning Cycle. It seems good, just very squishy. He is, yeah, kind of squishy like, you know, the other bow boy. Gray can still be used in a lot of farming scenarios. Don't know if that's enough for SS-. Yes, Gray. You can't solo easily though. Where is Gray again? Liza is on S, while we have Red and Coppelia higher, but it's because they have a little of an edge. They have access to punishing combo that sometimes is much better than using a 4S attack. Narcissus is really good on boss fights, he can also debuff. As a Platinum unit, he's not bad indeed. Nora, for example, is not a good debuffer because she doesn't have enough intelligence, while Narcissus can actually get high intelligence by buffing himself. Lester Talia SS-, does she lack damage? That's why she's that low. Yes, she doesn't have good cycles as well. You mean Taria, right? She's a strangely designed character. She blocks damage by 1 turn, 1 time. Every turn. And gets defense up. Nice. She gets 5 stacks of 10% minus. But then Mastery 1 is a very bad passive for long runs. And then Fired Up 6. Well, not big damage. Good sustain. But then she has this attack called Elegant Ice that heals her. Has delay, not good for damage. Good for sustain. Second skill is pretty bad. The first skill has okay damage, have a chance to debuff endurance. That barely makes any difference. And agility. I don't know, it just does not make much sense for me to bring her. Because it will need the boss to focus on single target attacks. I will need to use her on the middle of Rising Phoenix X formation. And when I think about that, my answer is this boy here. Magical Tank Gustav. He's the best character to be placed there because he will give resistance to everyone in the squad. Gives Strong Guard, gives the Magical Shield. So. But okay, he's a triple S character while she was on SS minus. You think she deserves a little higher than that? Anyone thinks that? The Eliza hit started in Global X Copelia, I think. Not on turn 1. On turn 2, yes. This Liza has how much damage increase? 30? 50% damage increase, right? 50% damage increase. With Babel Crumble, I think she does a little more than the Cordelia, because that Cordelia actually has 30 only. Oops, Cordelia, no, Copelia. Let me see here. 25 only, 25 only. I think she deals a little less damage than Copelia indeed. But not by much. Punishing combo is like 4S damage, guys. While Babel Crumble is only triple S. Even if she has lower damage passives, the damage is pretty close. I did test this in the past, did. The difference was very small. And she hits AoE on the first hit, hence why she still has a little better setup. And she can follow up with AoE, while Liza can't. She's a good tank, so she'll be similar to No, Polka, or Mask tanks. Not Therese Niche. She's really only in the middle of Rising Phoenix with Victory Spin. Kinda. In that case, her damage is okay because the middle slot of Phoenix increases intelligence. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It's a very specific situation. But damage blocked by turn, it's pretty unique. I know. But it still requires the boss to keep using single target attacks and not many hits. Anyone thinks that she deserves to be here? We still have to discuss Mirza later. Anyone else should be moved up? Oh, it's close to 2 hours. We can just send a message to wife. I think the other styles that we have here are extremely situational or totally outclassed. Just checking on life because of dinner. Axenor may be up, very important buffer for Remembrance. But here we are not considering Remembrance that much. We need to make a video about Remembrance fights, or maybe we can include a tab here talking a little about key, easy characters for Remembrance. That would be cool, it's not that hard to make. Oh, by the way, about Narcisse again, I made an Earth Ball for him and level up. He's close to 50. I think he's very similar to Actor, or even better with the intelligence buff. Actor! Your Impress should be higher than S. This one? We need an extra row here. Oops. I wasn't sure about her. She was one of the characters I wasn't sure. I checked this multiple times. I'm serious. But even then, it's just too many small icons and you forget about stuff. Axnora, you said something about Axnora, right? Let me just move it here. She has access to an AoE buff to STR, so that may be reason enough. Her damage is 30. Passives are pretty bad. STR is bad, agility okay. Salvage slash buffs, but deals pretty bad damage. No, I don't think that she deserves. Besides Remembrance, her damage is just not there. Bringing her is just... well, you can kind of bring almost multiple different characters instead of her. Also, Black has been MVP in Remembrance battles for X, so many deserve higher than S. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think we should consider Remembrance here. This Black, huh? What about Gray? You said Gray, right? Gray with Waterfall Blade. What was the problem with Gray when I was using him? In Gay, he still has 50% damage passives and 92. That is not that bad. Let me move him here so that we can discuss. Where is Gray? But people will complain, say, oh, Gray is here, but then Creator is not. Look, this brings some problems. But Gray has Waterfall Blade and we use it for this. While we don't use Creator for farming because he's just all about RNG. RNG on farming is not my cup of tea. Really not my cup of tea. I think many people may agree with that. Counter Lion. Why is she even here? Is it the Counter Lion? This was a mistake. Yeah, this was a mistake. She should not be here. Probably overlooked this. Your Impress has the highest damage skill, then Quadruple Moon. I use it on Christmas Impress regularly. Yeah, the skill is good and it even buffs 2 different status. Pretty cool. Your Impress is so bad compared to the other styles, but it does restore BP. She restores BP? I wanted to have that attack, but I could not keep summoning when the banner was released. No, she has nothing related to BP. That's Beauty 2 in S, right? Where's the first one? The first one is here on SS minus. Unit 2, indeed, on S. Also, Torp is on S. You can never move Nora without moving Torp. Torp has 35% passives and 106, not that bad. She has 30. No, they are too similar. I definitely use Creator in farming because if they are in that, they are confusing. I use it on Dojo when I'm just bringing a party to new content. But I use Creator for that. He's always confusing the enemies. But for farming... why do you use farming? You don't want the enemies to attack, does he? So if they are confused or not, it's not important. At least in my opinion. Oh yeah, we have UDX, Claudia, and Jamie here because they are getting old. I dodged with that for Darky just to clear them out. Nice. I don't use instant Q there, I usually use damage. One second, guys. My wife is arriving. I'm here. So, sorry guys, I'm back. The last one part style is so disappointed. The third skill looks so cool. It does. It does. Reminds me of a skill from Minstrel Song. I think it's a skill from Minstrel Song, no? Blood something. Vampire Lady. No, Blood Moon Totality. Reminds me of a skill from Minstrel Song that also has blood something. What about Too Kwai? Anyone use it Too Kwai for anything at all? I know she has a counter mechanic that counters sun damage, but how many times was this useful? You have the skill on her Platinum style. Oh yeah, on the Platinum style. Blood Rage Plus. Indeed. But it's just that in Minstrel Song, that attack has 5 hits, right? So it kinda reminds me more of this Blood Moon Totality. Blood Rage is in Minstrel Song, it's different, yeah? Yeah, different there. Anyone has any other opinion over at least the S list? This Arluke is just such a cool character, but man. Also about Black, he's useful because we don't have many X users, and once we do, I don't know if he's gonna be so useful. I'll demo Too Kwai and the Annie next to her. This Annie is strong. Well, not that strong. But she does have some cool cycles. She has Acceleration's Word. But she can't use it 2 times. Guys, there is a cat meowing here. Give me 1 second. It seems like it's a small cat. Maybe a kitty. Oh man, I cannot have more cats, but it looks like a very small cat is meowing. Oh my god, I need to check this. Oh my god. Please give a look on the tier list. I'll be back in just a few. Whew. I'm back. Sorry for that, but the meowing disappeared. The meowing disappeared and I can't keep following. Premium Honeywell is lower than DJ Honeywell. DJ is free, so should not be the premium one be better than DJ? That's what I was thinking, but I don't think that this Honeywell actually impacts much of the other one. And the free one was released later. I don't know about what to think about this. The limited Honeywell without the skill from the free one is not better than the free one. So it's a tough question. We can bring him here for our discussion. Can you guys hear me well? Yeah, I think I clicked it. I have a button to disable the mic, but I never pressed. Let me even test here. Yeah, it works. I never tested. The mic has. Now, also, is Justin is here. Welcome, is Justin. Sorry for only replying now. Yeah, we are trying to get a little more feedback just to finish the update. Yeah, but DJ is free, so it's a free inherit. Makes sense. But we'll have to place an eye on the character to guarantee that it needs inherit. Even if it's free, it's not available all the time. You still need to get it from an event. So I will have to add a note here, add eye to premium Honeywell. So that we need to discuss that this character is only placed here when you consider inheritance. Without it, no. You're also not losing much damage by just using the free one. And Uflux says that I'm collecting more cat styles. Have you ever seen that meme where the people say, I don't have this color, let me get this one? That's me. That's totally me. It should not be me, but it's me. Anything else? Sushi Boston is interesting too. I don't know how useful the random buffs are now. Don't have it. Not that useful anymore. Sushi Boston is one? Yeah, no, he's not an SS character anymore. Quite a lot of times since he was very useful. Now, not anymore. Most of these characters are old now. That's what made them not so useful. Halloween Cat is useful, but her cycle is bad. She cannot keep up. She's actually only useful to give a rabbit the skill. Where is Rabbit? I think she's probably around here. Rabbit. Very cool character if you have the inheritance. I don't have the character, so can't say much. Let me stop here. Anyone? Martial Arts Fairy does good damage, probably not enough for SS though. Bad skills, good passives. Terrible status. 42% endurance, 62% will. Will die easily. 4 damage, nice. Rotation, terrible. You can do Special Persona on turn 1 and then turn 3, but where do you really need this? Then Inheritances. We cannot even use Arm of Light on turn 1 and turn 3. Reaper is terrible, Poke is terrible. Her ass style has divine. only terrible skills. And then we have the other Platinum that has Triumvirate Plus. This one she can use on turn 1 and turn 3, but then it's extremely situational. The good thing is that at least she can run this on auto. Either Special Persona or Triumvirate Plus, but still using Amplify on this character here. To use where? That's the thing. You need more events with only one enemy, or story stages with only one enemy, and she will need to be strong enough to solo. Can she solo? I don't know. I don't know. Actually, she may. Look, she has... No, she may not. 94 STR. No, it's not this one. Remember when we were discussing Alosis, and Alosis has a strong single target attack? Oh yeah, he has. And he can Q, right? But then again, she can only use it on turn 1 and turn 3. You still need another character to farm, and then if you need to bring 2 characters, there's multiple strategies that work. The problem with her is just that her cycles are bad. Is T260G that bad? I thought that could farm similar to Talon. No. Well, I'm a fan of T260G, but it's not even close to Talon. You see how hard it is to grade characters. Capivara said, is T260G that bad? Why do you think that SS minus grade is bad? Imagine if I say that he's B tier. Then we'll start the war. She. We know that T260G is female. The game says it's a no, but it was programmed like a woman. We have 25, 45. I use it for Starlight Shower on wave 2 and 3. Or wave 1 and 3. That's what I did. Cosmic Rave is pretty strong for turn 1 damage. Terrible cycles. I may say that because of the lack of English. Fair is the only spear user with access to instant Q. Will be useful in Remembrance. You say that because you lack English. Okay then. But you know, you just talk like many other people. T260G has good skills but bad BP. Terrible. Starlight Shower is only strong because it's a gun skill, but it's not that strong when you look on the power. 23. But it's 8 BP, so it's okay. Deals good damage because gun skills are very nice. But because of the cycle, I don't think it's that good. But I don't know how much better it is or weaker than the other people we have in SS minus. But T260G can inherit Proton Rocket for free. Proton Rocket Plus. And if we are moving T260G, we have to give the I icon because the A style was given out again. I did amplify mine. Proton Rocket Plus is pretty strong. When used by T260G, it deals good damage. The B tier gift really triggers you, eh? No, it doesn't trigger me. I'm just making a joke. It's a reference only. What do you think? Here we move and give the I icon for inheritance. Do we keep on S? Gonna move her up here to discuss. B tier, say Jason Thomas. Oh, now you appeared. Well, Proton Rocket is very, very strong. I agree with the I. Yup, makes sense. Some characters can do good damage, like this Genryu here, but terrible cycle, terrible order. Nice. Let's just add this information. I think that makes sense. Add I to Omega D to 60G. Going to have a leave. Thank you, Cher, SaGa, and everyone for completing this together. Thank you so much, Resting Dev. Have some good rest. See you later. Been very busy in the past few days. Playing another game. Robo cheer, the best cheer. Imagine when we get the 10 robots. That's gonna be crazy. I will have to drop in like a little less than 20 minutes to have dinner with wife. If anyone can give a look on the S and SS minus grade again, because the other ones are not important anyway. We're going to do the best we can, but I cannot do a third live stream. People will just not stay, I believe. We already only have 15 people watching. Maybe I will have more numbers if I had announced it earlier, but I did announce yesterday. So I don't know. Maybe making live streams over that time also draws more attention. Not entirely sure. But making a third one will be unnecessary, I guess. We're already kind of close of finishing this, so it will be cool to finish. And then I do the last revisions, talk to SaGa. You will have to order everything by weapon type. It's gonna take some time. I'm gonna need his help. Doubt Triple S because he makes you Rick. He makes you Rick, he makes you this character. By transformation. Arsenal is the best robot. The only one that I don't have. Arsenal returning and I didn't assume because I didn't have gens. World is coming to an end. Shares updating the tier list. Who would have thought, huh? So say your opinions here, Jason Thomas. Help me out with the S and SS minus part. Let's give a look on the SS minus part. We also have to discuss if this Stadia stays on SS. Mirza. Great. Learning you were impressed. Honeywell. Honeywell getting an eye. I think it's kind of easy and already discuss it. We should place Honeywell here. Omega as well. It's a free inheritance anyway. Those two we have to discuss. These other two as well. I guess those are the only ones that we need to discuss. So give a look on this SS minus list and tell me if you see any character that should be moved or not. Scroll up some more. Melissa might be better than SS minus. You are the only Melissa defender in this game. All life ends when I get home. Let me try to do more live streams, but it's just that I think that the numbers are dropping too much, does it? People don't stay too long because we discussed the most important things already. Human Kaczynski is too high. Dropping him? I was thinking about dropping him. Dropping him to S. Kurt Burgundy is in B tier. I am triggered. He needs to be in B tier. He's a definition of B tier. Is he here? Yeah. He is. When you better? Don't know, man. Do you know anyone from Square Enix? Maybe if we know some insider info? Outside of insider info, no one knows anything. Melissa is on SS. She's not on SS minus, just so you know, Jason. But she's not on SS plus. No discussion about Gray, in my opinion. Alone 3 times Waterfall Blade is enough. I think it makes sense, yeah. Just like the other Platinum styles, they are actually strong. Not entirely sure if Premier is still as useful, but she does have a strong damage. 60% damage passive is premium levels. And she has an attack with double elements. She has 60% damage passives, and Scattered Sparks is a good attack. But only that. Probably only one that has Melissa. One of the only ones. Yeah, she's definitely low SS. But we don't have a left to right order anymore, Jason. It's just about if a character is on SS minus or SS, and we'll stop there. That's the reason why we took so much time to try to make the tier list, because too many styles now cannot be so objective about different types of roles, so She's SS, she's SS, but there's no left to right order. Gray is the only freestyle that can do triple waterfall blade plus, right? While you can do 2 times with the older version of Impress, the platinum version of Impress. The worst style I've seen in the game is the last Sith style. It's a shame, honestly. I don't understand why they made this style. Sith? Global? You mean this style here? This is the last Sith. She buffs STR and dexterity with a fast attack. Sometimes it was useful. Not a platinum, so you're talking about JP? The JP Sith is pretty bad. I don't know why they made that style. I feel the same as you. This Sith here is strange. Way too many characters already do slash, way too many characters already do blunt, and look. This attack here has no buff or any special element. Then we have Skydrive. Just because it's indirect. She gets overdrive. They will be using this a lot in the future. If your character has overdrive, then gives morale up. If you don't have overdrive, gives guard up. But guard up, you cannot use another guard up. Increases damage dealt by OD attacks. I hate this passive. Way too situational, and you only get to overdrive once every 5 turns, so why? At the end of the turn, she conceals any type of ability down. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I will not be summoning for the Sith, unless they change her heavily. Back to this, because I will have to leave. Well, for all those that are in the stream, you can check the tier list link on Discord. Also, it's here on the description. So if you have any feedback, please send it to me, because tomorrow I will try to finish this so that I send it to SerGa to do his part. So that we can actually finish, or else we will just be on the same thing forever. Maybe it's not the last, but the one you got on global. Sith? You mean the school version? Or the tower version? The tower version is pretty old, super ultra old. It was released with the game. And then there is a limited style school Sith that has a good attack here called a Whale. It's a row attack that will be buffed in the future. It will even be buffed to, I guess, B power and buffs STR. School Sith. This attack here, drink. I don't know why it's called drinking JP. It's Whale in global. It becomes A power, and hits a row. It's only 5 EP to hit a row with slash, and will even buff STR. I'm waiting for this. They will, I think with this newest update, we're gonna get plenty of amplify skills. Would be nice to train and all. You got it so late. I have it. There's only one tower style that I don't have up to this point. It's Charl. I still don't have this tower Charl. Don't have. Been played since day one and he never dropped it. But back to the tier. I think that's it, guys. I'll leave Gray here so that I know that he's already discussed it. We didn't discuss this final Impress much, but I do believe she deserves. I think that in a way Mirza and Taria deserves to be on SS2. Depends on the point of view. It's more about the way people play the game. Same Impress is because of the skill being strong. He's also a healer for great swords. We don't have many. Although we have Final Press, older styles. While we have the S part that I don't think many people disagreed much. You don't have either. See? Are you a day one player as well? So I need to fix the what remains of the list to show to SaGa so we discuss. I will also suggest SaGa so that we have a single way to give value to banners. SaGa gives the grade before me, but once he knows my grade, he needs to change, or else just makes people confused. I remember people saying, "Oh, Cher, you said that this character is triple S, but when I look on the tier, it says SS." I am oh, again. So changing the name of the banner, the award of the banner from SS minus or whatever to what I use, that it's gold, award, silver, maybe making gold plus, silver plus these things, but use the same method. Also, New Flux, thank you so much for being here and for all your help. Have a good dinner. I'm also having a dinner soon. So good dinner for us. See you later. You should change this so that we use the same method, or we just confuse people around, and I don't want to confuse people. So, if anyone Capivara was saying why Ruby is so high, she's the best single target build buffer in the game. With some comparison to Red Mage, but Red Mage is pretty high, and Ruby is not so high, she's on SS line. Thanks, French Tao. So, before everyone leaves, click the like button, it certainly helps the channel grow faster. Thank you all for your help. Tomorrow, I don't know, I'll try to do something because maybe a video. We are not having too much content, but I like to always have content, so in order to have news. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night, good morning, or good afternoon, and I'll see you soon as the next video or live stream arrives. Please join the Discord server if you're still not there. Avara says, well, she's as used as the counter units. Yeah, but the counter units are on SS. She's on SS minus already. Later, JPreg. Later, Xavier. Have a good one, Masamune. You are just trying to make Ruby feel bad, Copy. Look, she's here. She's not there. Bye.